One of the worst parts of trying to drop body fat and improve your eating habits is dealing with the hunger that comes from eating less. A lot of times, all it takes is your stomach growling just a little too long and a little too hard for you to completely throw yourself off your game and head to the pantry or stop by that fast food place on the way from work and completely sabotage your progress. So I want to walk you through how I manage hunger during the fat loss phase, how I instruct our clients to manage hunger during the fat loss phase, so that you can discipline yourself and put strategies in place to overcome this and ultimately get your body and health where you need it to be. Let's get it. What's going on? My name is Monta Harden, personal trainer, strength and conditioning, and sports nutrition coach since 2017. Over that time, we've worked with hundreds of men and women, helping them transform their body, their health, their nutrition habits, and get in amazing shape. And one thing that we've had to do with every single one of them is help them figure out how to manage their cravings and how to manage their hunger. This is actually a big thing that one of our clients, Jordan, dealt with. Anytime she would start a diet, she'd be great for a day or two, and then the hunger would start to hit because she was eating so much less. She would try to stick it out, but before she knew it, she was elbow deep in a bag of Doritos, or she was pulling up at a drive-through, and she couldn't figure out why she couldn't stay consistent for more than a couple of days or more than a week. So once we started working together, we helped her put strategies in place to overcome that hunger. She dropped 30 pounds of body fat and also dramatically improved her gut health, somebody that dealt with Crohn's disease for a long time and was feeling better than ever just 4 months in. So first off, let's understand why hunger ramps up to begin with when you're in a fat loss phase. When you eat fewer calories than your body needs to maintain its current weight, aka caloric deficit, which is what drives fat loss, your body responds by producing ghrelin. Now, ghrelin sounds a lot like gremlin, so you can kind of think of it as this little minion that's like in your stomach saying, I want to eat, I want to eat, I want to eat. That's what ghrelin is. Ghrelin is a hormone that's secreted to make you feel hungry. It makes your stomach growl, it makes your mouth water, it makes you think of certain foods, tries to persuade you and peer pressure you into eating. Now that might sound like a bad thing, but the proper production of ghrelin is actually a great thing. Eating what you need to eat and getting your body to a good place actually regulates that hormone. Then on the opposite end of the spectrum, you got leptin. Leptin signals fullness, tells your body that, okay, you're good, it's time to stop eating. And this is typically what happens at the end of a meal. Also, another reason that you might experience more hunger is because you're getting less food in than your body's used to. So it kind of quickly throttles your energy levels and your body craves a quick pick-me-up, typically in the way of fast-burning, fast-acting carbs, high-fat foods, things like that. Now that you know the science behind it and why it's doing what it's doing, here's the 6 strategies I'd implement today to make sure that I was able to overcome that hunger phase during my fat loss journey. First off is going to be to front load your day with protein. Protein is incredibly satiating. It reduces that ghrelin signal, which means the more protein you consume, the less of the ghrelin signal you have, which means that the fuller you're going to feel. You also get in the nutrients that your body needs to maintain and build lean muscle, which is extremely important during a fat loss phase, because you want to make sure that as you're in your caloric deficit and you're in your training and you're doing your cardio, you want to make sure that the weight you lose is as much body fat as it possibly can be. We want to lose very little muscle mass. We'd actually love to put on some muscle mass along the way. So you want to make sure that you're fueling that properly, and getting in adequate protein is the best way to get that done. You want to aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of desired body weight. So if you're 300 pounds right now and you would love to be 200 pounds, don't consume 300 grams of protein, consume 200, because you don't want to be in a 300 pound body. You want to be in a 200 pound body. So consume 200 grams of protein. You could probably get away with even a little bit less, but let's just call it 200 just to be on the safe side. And you should do well if you're strength training as well to maintain at the very least that lean muscle mass, maybe even build up. A few great things to get in first thing in the morning could be like an omelet, maybe some Greek yogurt with veggies, protein shake if you're in a hurry. Understand it probably needs to be something pretty fast. You probably can't throw down like this crazy long meal that takes you 30 to 60 minutes to prep, but something like what I just listed, you could definitely get in before you get your day started. Secondly is to drink more water. Dehydration and the way that it feels can mimic hunger. You're gonna feel kind of a pang in your stomach. Your mouth is gonna be dry and it's gonna water every now and again. For that hydration, you might get a headache that feels like a hunger headache, but it's really a thirst headache. So before reaching for a snack or completely derailing yourself from your goals, just grab you a glass of water, gulp that down, and then wait 10 minutes and see if you still are hungry. Chances are you probably just needed to hydrate, especially if you know you had a good high quality meal beforehand. Get in your breakfast, and then you get in a glass of water, and then you get in a coffee, like all before your day starts. You should be good to go for a pretty long time before you ever even start to get hungry. And then number 3 is to eat more high volume foods. See, when we eat these processed junk foods, the biggest thing that stands out is the lack of volume. For example, if you put some Oreos in your hand and you put some broccoli in your hand, the calories in the Oreos, the sugar in the Oreos is going to be dramatically higher than the calories in the broccoli. But the broccoli is way more satiating. You cannot throw broccoli back indefinitely while watching a movie and then look up, oh my God, all the broccoli's gone. Like, it doesn't happen that way. You need high volume foods inside your diet that are low calorically and high in volume so that you can feel fuller as you're consuming it, but still get in a low amount of overall calories. Leafy greens, cucumbers, zucchini, of course, proteins. These are all amazing options to get in those high volume foods. Like, you get a lot of crunch, you get a lot of food, but you don't get a lot of calories, which is very important to kind of add into your diet during the fat loss phase. I would surround my proteins with those, or my higher fat meals, or my higher carb meals. I would surround those meals with those high volume foods so that you don't need quite as much rice or quite as much of whatever other fattier source that you might have inside that meal. And you can kind of supplement it with those higher volume foods so that you can feel fuller without getting in a lot more calories. Number 4 is going to be, don't skip meals. Now, this sounds counterintuitive because we're talking about how to manage and mitigate hunger, but if you go way too long without a meal, what's going to happen is your body's going to get to a point where you start to feel starved, and then at that point, all of the mental awareness of what you're supposed to eat kind of starts to dwindle. So if you wake up and you skip breakfast and you head out to work on 2 wheels, and it's 1-2 o'clock before you get to bring your head up for air and go on your lunch break, what are the odds that you're gonna get a healthy, clean, balanced meal when you're stressed, you're starving, you haven't eaten since last night, and the closest restaurant to you is McDonald's or KFC or Popeyes or whatever it is by your workplace? You're probably not gonna make a good decision. First off, you don't have any fuel to make a good decision in terms of food. And secondly, you only have a limited amount of time during your lunch break. Most people aren't gonna not eat until dinner. They're usually gonna wait to eat until lunch. And most people for lunch don't really have a lot of time to decide what they're gonna eat. So you're always gonna pick convenience first if you don't have a game plan. So that's one of the biggest reasons that you don't wanna wait forever in between each meal. You want to get that high quality breakfast in, and then within 4 to 5 hours, you want to be able to get a good high quality lunch in, and then within 4 to 5 hours, get a good high quality dinner in. I found that the longer you extend those windows, the more likely you are to make a poor decision. So making sure that you kind of keep your eating windows in proper intervals is going to be extremely important. Number 5 is going to be to manage your stress and your sleep. Every video that we ever do, anything we ever talk about, whether it's fat loss, muscle gain, mental cognition, hormonal health, gut health, all goes back to stress management and sleep. When you're stressed, your body is going to produce more cortisol, which is going to make you crave sugary, highly processed foods. And lack of sleep does the same thing. If you're sleeping less, your cortisol is going to go up, and your hunger hormones are going to be out of whack as well. You're going to be much more likely to produce more ghrelin and less leptin, meaning that the same amount of food that would have made you full if you had a full night of sleep isn't going to do that same thing, because you need a little bit extra as a pick-me-up. You need the quick carbs, you need the quick sugar in the bloodstream in order to pick up the energy a little bit. At least that's how your body looks at it, and that's why you're more prone to make poor nutritional decisions when you're running low on energy, because the same way that your body running low on energy, your mind is running low on energy, and you're just not going to have the same discipline and wherewithal to make the good decisions that you need to make. You want to make sure that you're sleeping at least 6 hours a night, 6 uninterrupted hours of sleep per night. And if you're like me right now, with little babies running around then I know it's a challenge. I know it's difficult, but whatever you can maneuver around in order to get you more sleep, please do that. It's going to be very impactful. But other than that, you should easily be able to get in 6 on the lowest of the low end. 7 is optimal, and then 8 is fantastic. So try to get that in, and then also try to manage your stress. Whatever it is that's going on in your life that you feel like is causing you to emotionally eat or skip meals or just not be as dialed into your health as you need it to be, please figure out a way to solve that, get rid of it, ignore it, whatever it is. If it's not something that you can ignore, then you need to face it head on and try to overcome it, because it's stopping you from getting the body and health that you want, and nobody else can do that for you but you. So the work that you're letting stress you out, the family members, the friends that you're letting stress you out, they can't get your body in shape for you. Only you can do that, which means you have to take control of what's causing you the stress in your life so that you can overcome it and get where you need to be. And last but not least is to use hunger as a signal. Like I said at the top, hunger is not the enemy. It is good for your body to feel hunger. You just have to be able to think back and be able to chronicle when you feel that hunger. What time is it? What did I eat last? Should I realistically be hungry and wanting something to eat? That's how you want to think about it. And then you also want to think about it in this way. What am I craving? Your stomach tingles a little bit and you're like, man, I could go for a bag of chips, some candy, some cookies over there. Oh, we got some donuts in the office. If that's what you think of, you're probably not really hungry. But if your stomach tingles and you go, man, I'm so ready to eat that baked chicken and that kale salad and that sweet potato that I brought for lunch today. If that's what you think about when you're hungry, you're probably actually hungry, because you want meals that are going to sustain you. You don't want something just to chew on and just to eat on real quick and just to get a quick blood sugar spike. You actually want nutrients in your body. So always kind of take yourself through that checklist when you feel that hunger pang, and I promise you'll make way better decisions if you can reason with yourself about whether or not you're actually hungry. So that is it, squad. Being hungry is honestly a part of the process. Should you be starving? No, but you are going to have to deal with a little slight dull hunger if you want to drop body fat. You have to think about the flip side of it. Typically, you're going to accumulate body fat because you ate too much food and you did not move enough. And that probably happened over the course of 2, 5, 10, 25 years. So as a result, and the good news is that it's not going to take you 2, 5, 10, 25 years to reverse the excess weight that was gained, excess body fat that was gained, but it might take you 6, 12, 24 months of a consistent dull hunger before your body kind of gets to the place where you need it to be. You've lost the weight you needed to lose, your metabolism has gotten to the place it's needed to get to, and then you've adapted to that new style of eating and that new amount of caloric intake. So that's it. Hopefully you got value. If you did and you're like, hey, you know what, I need help implementing these exact strategies within my own life, within my own diet, because I've been trying to get in great shape, but it just hasn't been working for me. Click the first link down in the description. Take a transformation quiz. We'll get all the info we need to build out your custom protocols and custom assessment to help you get in the best shape of your life. And make sure to like, subscribe, and turn notifications on so that you don't miss any more uploads going forward. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.